So the NVIDIA RTX 3080 launch keeps getting crazier and crazier. Recently, we heard about MSI, which is the big company that makes motherboards, GPUs, possibly having one of their subsidiary companies scalping these GPUs on eBay. So before we rush into any conclusions, let's discuss what happened here and let's discuss scalping in general, especially with this recent release. Let's get into it. Hey guys, Tiago with Classical Technology here. Remember to subscribe, smash that notification button, leave a comment below. What do you think about this entire scalping thing in general? Alright, so let's talk about a few thoughts in terms of scalping. Obviously, everybody hates this. For those who don't know what it is, it's when you have something at the market price, let's say a GPU that's $699, but because it's not available, you go and sell it for double the price. This is commonly seen in things like ticket sales. If you go to like a sporting event or something like that, if you can't get the ticket at the box office, your second bet is to get it from somebody selling it outside, but you may have to pay considerably more. So let's talk about what happened recently here. MSI, which as you guys know, that's the really big manufacturing company. They make everything from motherboards to GPUs to even monitors. They definitely do a lot of stuff. And in different countries, they'll have subsidiary companies that are kind of like an arm of their company just because they reach worldwide. And recently, one of these companies on eBay was sort of caught on Reddit selling RTX 3080 GPUs for over twice their MSRP price. Now, this is interesting because this is behavior you would generally only see out of maybe individuals trying to take advantage of the situation. But now that we see this behavior potentially tied to a much bigger company, we see so many questions here being raised, as in, is that company trying to profit because of the scarcity? How did a subsidiary that's only supposed to really be selling refurbished products, they're only supposed to be selling things that aren't brand new like the RTX 3080, how in the world did they manage to get stock of the 3080 in order to even be able to scalp it on eBay? Now, eBay is more of like a free market. Anybody can post on eBay, so I see why they kind of chose to do that. I'm sure if they try to put it on a different website, like Best Buy or whatever, Newegg, they wouldn't be able to, probably because those websites are going to have more checks and balances. eBay could be any individual putting anything at any price that they want. So this raises considerable concerns. I'm not going to go into the details of how this company is tied to MSI. That's been covered on Reddit if you guys want to check it out. But they're definitely a subsidiary. MSI confirmed it. MSI basically said they were able to attain these 3080 GPUs in an error. They didn't really say how they were able to get the stock. As you guys know, the RTX 3080 has been perpetually out of stock, very difficult to find. So this company was able to get who knows how many they were able to sell. MSI even said that they would refund whoever bought these GPUs. Of course, that's probably not likely. Whoever bought them, they bought them knowingly that they're going to be that price. Of course, if they pay that much, they really want these GPUs because they can't find them elsewhere. The second next thing is that MSI said they would at least refund the portion that makes up the difference between the scalp price and the MSRP price. That's a little bit nicer. At least those people may be able to keep those GPUs at the fair price, so that eliminates that concern. But the very fact that this is only happening after really isn't that great. It's kind of because that company was caught. Now, before we rush into judgment and say that MSI is doing this or anything like that, this is all just supposed. It's alleged. We don't know exactly what's going on. It's all really speculation until you know exactly what's going on. The only thing that we know is that MSI said this subsidiary, which they said it's theirs, got these in error. So we don't really know if there was just one individual that did this. I doubt that high up on MSI, they would really know that this is going on or even bother with this. They're a very big company. I don't really think they care to make double the price on a couple of GPUs, but maybe an individual or a smaller group may be more interested in some behavior like that. So that's the only reason I don't think like MSI has like some nefarious plan higher up doing this. I think it really is a smaller group or a person that decided this. I guess we'll see more as everything goes out, but it's still unfortunate because it's somebody that's supposed to at least be either representing or working working with MSI as like some type of subsidiary. So we don't really expect this type of behavior from them. It's certainly the last thing that we need to see now. People are already up in arms over the RTX 3080 launch. Everybody's very mad at scalpers. So to see this with any tie, no matter how minimal it may be, to a larger company that sells so many GPUs and historically has so many PC parts that you might even own something that they've made, it's really disappointing, and it throws a little bit of distrust back into the mix of this launch. We know everything that NVIDIA had said so far on the stock of these GPUs. They're really not going to be available until 2021. So knowing that and knowing how low the stock is, whoever the individual was that wanted to take advantage of this, I really don't know what they were thinking, if they thought it was okay to post them at that price, at that inflated price, especially when the connection is so obvious between them and a much larger company. I really do think if they did have this extra stock, the right way to have done this would have just to sell it through the normal channels at the MSRP like they're meant to be sold. Even if it's eBay, put them up at MSRP. I mean, they're a huge company. They don't really need to be scalping people. That just creates a tremendous amount of distrust. You see everybody talking about MSI. It's something they definitely don't need, because now basically consumers are going to be even more distrusting of basically everything that's going on with the launch. So basically, my personal opinion on the matter is, whatever was alleged to have happened, I don't think the bigger MSI company really knew the details. This seems like a much more concentrated thing amongst only the subsidiary and maybe some individuals. But still, MSI should really try to have more oversight over everything that's going on, even in their smaller subsidiaries or their smaller areas, just to make sure that things like this don't happen, because consumer trust is very important. So if they can learn anything from this, is just to keep tighter controls, more of an eye on these type of issues. I know MSI has been in sort of the tech news the last few months for certain other problems that people were complaining about, because certainly, they definitely make great products. I'm sure a lot of us have had MSI motherboards, MSI GPUs. They make some great quality, very interesting products. But if these issues are occurring, it's definitely going to betray the consumer trust. And I hope that they put in place a lot of these measures so stuff like this doesn't happen, because it's definitely something we don't need right now. With the RTX 3080, everybody's frustrated that they can't get one, and to have a subsidiary tied to one of these big manufacturers, it just brings up way too many issues, way too many questions and concerns, that it really muddies the water. Even if MSI had good intentions or no idea in other areas, it's going to really muddy these waters now, and I really do hope that they can resolve whatever process, whatever error this issue was, and that way it never happens again, or else it's just going to continue to betray the trust between the consumer and these larger companies. Now let's talk about scalpers in general. Generally, this is going to pertain to individuals who somehow could get their hands on an RTX 3080. Maybe they were very quick at launch, maybe they stood in line at Micro Center, and then they want to sell it for whatever it is, a few $100s more, double the price. Definitely, I've been looking at all the different marketplaces, just curious to see what people are doing, looking at eBay. A lot of them, let's say a Founders Edition RTX 3080, which the MSRP $699, it seems like a lot of them sell for at least twice that, or around like maybe $1,300 or something like that. The RTX 3090, even more so, if they were $1,500 MSRP. They're definitely selling for somewhere in the 2,000 range, 2,400, 2,500. I've seen some as high as 3,000. Now, of course, this type of behavior is not great for the consumer at all, because something that's supposed to be $700, like the RTX 3080, all of a sudden it's way over 1,000. And even it's still a great GPU. The performance is great, but that's not the price it's meant to be sold at. And of course, it's because of the high demand, the stock issues, but people are taking advantage of it. And I don't really think there's anything you can do to dissuade that, unless eBay or one of these marketplaces put up some policy in terms of overpricing things and scalping. Maybe if they say that if the price is above X amount compared to the MSRP, that listing could be taken down. I don't know if this is a wide enough problem that they would really go to that much trouble, because of course a lot of people want GPUs, but at the end of the day, how many people are really paying these scalper prices? Some are, and I've definitely seen a lot being sold on eBay, but I think a lot of people probably think, you know what, I'm just going to wait until stock gets better. Even though NVIDIA said it might be until 2021, maybe people will just enjoy their 20 series GPUs a little bit more now. But definitely the scalping problem is certainly a significant issue. And I remember during the mining craze a few years ago, when all of a sudden all of the GPUs disappeared, it wasn't as hard as it is today to get an RTX 3080 or 3090. I remember back then when I needed a GPU, I would sign up for the notification emails on like Newegg, and occasionally they would come in stock. It may not be particularly the model that you wanted, but they would definitely come in stock where, you could definitely get them. Now it seems like that happens and almost instantly it's sold out. It's much more difficult. So what do I suggest you do if you certainly want to get one of these GPUs? Well, primarily, I really think you should avoid paying these scalper prices. Try to do the notify on the different sites. Try to pay MSRP. NVIDIA did say the stock issues are going to, remain until 2021, which really kind of sucks. But it's still possible. Stuff is going to be coming in stock. It's not like there's zero. So stuff will still be in stock. You're just going to have to work pretty hard to be able to find them at MSRP. So I would suggest either doing that. Make sure you exhaust all your methods of, hitting notification emails on different websites like Newegg, EVGA. They have a system now as well. Best Buy, check your local Micro Center. So I would do that first. Worst case, you can't find one, just wait a little bit. Eventually, they're going to come in stock, even if it takes a few months. But I definitely think you're going to be a lot more upset paying these scalper prices. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy GPU hunting out there. It's really an adventure. Remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next video.